So, joining me this afternoon on today's episode of Extraordinary Women, two girls that I grew up with, went to school with, Megan and Mariah. Thank you so much for joining me. How are you guys doing?
Good. Thanks for having us. We're excited.
Yeah, yeah, hi. I just want to say thank you so much for having us. We're so happy to be here. I just love like talking about self-love and empowering women, and like I know you're always about that, and I just love talking about that with you. So I'm like super happy that you had us on here. I'm
Yeah,
excited.
team. So, before we get started, I mean, of course, I know you guys a little bit, and we all grew up together. But why don't you go ahead, introduce yourselves to the world, to all the viewers? Mariah, let's start with you.
Okay, so I'm Mariah. We're actually sisters. So Megan and I. So I'm the younger sister. So I also grew up in Pennsylvania, but I moved to Los Angeles 3 years ago, almost 3 years ago. August, it'll be 3 years. And I work for an event staffing company. We do lots of events, kind of like within the entertainment realm, like premiere parties and after parties for like the Golden Globes, Emmys, and things like that. And then we just provide the staff. We don't do any of the planning. It's like common misconception when I say that we have staff, but yeah, we just provide like bartenders and servers and like promotional models, like that kind of thing, like whatever they need for events. It's a super fun job. I like it a lot, and yeah.
All righty, Megan.
Well, I'm Megan, as you said. I love being a mom. My son is about to be 2 in September, and he's just a ball of energy and so happy all the time. And I just love being a stay-at-home mom. It's the best. And also, I'm from Pennsylvania too. I'm still here.
We all went to school together, so.
Yeah.
So, like I said before, thank you, ladies, for being here. Um, th- you know, Today we are going to talk about just today's modern woman, like what she looks like, who she is exactly, because nowadays there's a debate, right, about what she looks like, who she is. As you can see, we all come from different backgrounds. Mariah, you work in the entertainment world. Megan, you're a stay-at-home mom, and me, I'm a military wife and I work in the news business. So let's kind of talk about that a little bit. What do you guys think today's modern woman like looks like? Let's start with you, Mariah.
Okay. Well, to me, I think a modern woman is just someone who really goes at her own pace in terms of building her life. Like some people want to have kids when they're like younger, like obviously like Megan had kids when they're younger, or some women don't want to have kids at all, or they want to wait until they're in their 30s. And it just like moving at your own pace, and you don't have to make decisions all at once. Like for me, like I went to college, got a 4 year degree, and then afterwards, like I really valued like where I wanted to live and like not so much like what I wanted to do or like career wise, it was kind of like a little bit lost. But yeah, I just knew that I wanted to live in LA because I thought it was a cool area, and I knew that the opportunities were greater for me than living in Pennsylvania. So yeah, like I kind of valued that like over like the whole career thing at first, but yeah, if you um like value if you want to just like go straight into a career like after college too, I think that is also like fine, and then like worry about where you want to live like later, and it just doesn't really matter. You kind of like map out your life like however you want to map it out. You don't have to follow like what
Yeah. Like kind of like backpacking off that. For like me, I feel like there's not like a specific definition of what the modern woman is, because I feel like now in 2020, like anyone can be like whoever they want to be. Like just being untamed and bold and happy and empowered as like a woman. And I don't think you have to be like X, Y, and Z. Like I just don't think it like fits into like a box anymore. Like you don't have to like, get married, have kids, like you can do whatever you want. Like you can live the single life, never have kids, just doing whatever like makes you happy, I think is really like what the modern woman is.
What made Mariah, what made you want to be a part of the entertainment industry? And then Megan, what made you want to just be a stay-at-home mom and not want to pursue a career like, like a doctor or a nurse? What inspired you to just stay in your route, stay with your vision, what you wanted, and why did you choose that?
Um, so I feel like this kind of like can go off to like the comparing thing too when I like transition into the question that you asked. But I like did go to like a community college and I got my associate's degree and then I transferred to a university and I never finished. And sometimes I like beat myself up about it, but I just for me at the time, like I just didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't feel ready. I think education is super important. Um, and it's something that I could maybe finish like in the future, but I sometimes find myself like comparing like, oh, like am I like a loser for like not finishing college when like all these other women have like and I'm but doing like staying home with my son is what makes me happy and it's just the path that like the universe or God like handed me and like seeing like I was in a hard place in my life when like me and Matt like kind of met each other and I literally have growing up have always loved kids. I've always wanted to be like a stay-at-home mom, I guess. And I just the universe just like aligned our paths and that's just what like in our like marriage and in our family and like our lifestyle we're like able to make it like work and it's what makes us happy and I love staying home with Isaiah. I feel like I have like the rest of my life to work. And I mean, not to say like working is bad, just for like me personally, I love staying home with my son and I feel like when he goes to school, someday maybe I can find a career. But I also like to really like live in the moment and not like I like to think about the future a little bit, but I just like especially when you have kids, like living in the moment is like just the best thing you can do because time goes by so quickly. So I just love being a stay-at-home mom and I love this life.
Yeah, Mariah, what about you? I mean, I know for me, when I first moved out here from Hanover, it was a bit of an adjustment, like a cultural adjustment.
For sure, yeah.
What was the transition like for you when you moved out here? And again, what made you want to pursue your career?
Okay, that's a great question. Love that question. Okay, so I mainly moved out west because the weather, I was like, oh, the weather's perfect here. And when I was in college, I actually came out to California. I was living in a city called Pomona, which is basically on the border of LA County. It's like very far east. It's not technically like in LA, but I came there the summer before my senior year of college. And then I was just working in Chino, California, like in an office. But I did all the touristy things that summer. I was working part time, and then I would just like go out and do all the touristy things. And I was like, I love it here so much. And then I went back and I finished my senior year of college, and then I moved out here shortly after I graduated college, like a few months after. And I didn't have a job at all when I moved here. I just applied for an apartment, and I don't even know how I got it. I'm just like super lucky, and then I just made the move. But I was kind of like, oh crap, now I need to like make money so I can pay rent and all of that. And I kind of fell into this world. When I very first moved out here, I had a car and I would do like the whole like Postmates, Uber Eats thing just to like make ends meet, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But then I kind of fell into this world of brand ambassadors, which is working events or promotions, trade shows, festivals, like that kind of thing, like representing a brand or a company or whatever. So I freelanced doing that for maybe like the first like about year and a half that I moved out here. And I like loved doing that because after college it was kind of cool to just like freelance and like work. Like I worked a lot of cool like conventions and trade shows and things like that. But then after like a year and a half of freelancing, I was kind of like, oh, I'm over it. Like it's kind of stressful because some months are like really good, and then other months it's like a little bit of a struggle. So that's when I got a full-time job working for a recruiting firm, and that company I actually had freelance working for their events division, but they had so many different divisions like within the company. So then I got hired to be an assistant for their recruiting department that did like C-level accounting and finance roles, which was I had my degree in communication, and you didn't like need to know how to do accounting and finance, but I don't know. It was like not the most fun job. I don't know, but it was nice to have finally like a full-time job. It was like my first like full-time job after college. And then I was there for about 7 months, but I actually was just hired like contractually, so I didn't have paid holidays or like vacation time. It's just like, yeah, not like the best. And I felt like I wasn't gonna get like hired on. So I was like, I need to like start looking for another job. And then I just applied for the job that I have now on LinkedIn, and I felt like it fits so perfectly with my experience that I had, because I had the experience of working events. So this was kind of like working on the other end of things, like in the office. And I also do the hiring. We're not hiring right now because like the pandemic and everything. But I interview the staff who come in, and then I onboard them and everything. So I feel like the experience I had like since moving to LA and like working events, and then working for a recruiting firm and kind of like interviewing people there, like it all kind of just like tied together. And I feel like this job fit like really perfectly into like what the experience that I had. And I love my job so much. Like it's, yeah, I really like it a lot. I'm super happy, and like I feel so blessed that I have this job.
The question that I have is, how would you two define yourself? Would you define yourself as a modern or traditional woman? Or do you think you are a mix of both modern and traditional?
Did you want to go first, or do you want to go, Megan?
Yeah, you can go.
Okay.
Sorry, everyone like paused on my screen, so I was like,
I don't know. Like I was torn about this question, honestly. It's a
mhm.
hard question. Me personally, I feel like I am a little bit of a mix. Because although like in terms of like career wise and like moving and all that, I feel like I'm more of like the modern woman, but I think a lot of like the core values that I have and that I live by are more like traditional. So that's why I would say that I'm more like mixed.
Yeah.
But it's hard question, but
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like it's a hard question too, because I guess maybe I would be a mix too, I guess, as far as like what like society says, like I guess like being like a stay-at-home mom is like kind of considered like a traditional thing to do. Um, so I don't know. I feel like I'm a mix of both a
Yeah.
little bit.
Same here. I feel like I'm a mix of both as well. I don't think I'm modern or traditional. I think I'm a mix of both. You know, there's some things that are do that some things I do people would think is traditional, which is one of them. I always cook dinner. That's just that's just what I do. My husband comes home to a warm home cooked meal every day, even when I get up at the wee hours in the morning and I get home at like 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm exhausted. I still manage, to get dinner done and have it ready, hot on a table for him. But then I also feel like, I'm a modern woman because I go to work. I get up every go to my job and I do my job. So, and as I stated before, I would like to be the stay-at-home mom as well who works from home. So, I think we're all a mix of modern and traditional, and I think millennial women have pretty much like some millennial women. I'm not going to say all, but some millennial women have really um, contributed to that. You see a lot more millennial women who are CEOs now. I don't know about you guys, but I've been seeing a lot of millennial CEOs everywhere now.
Yeah.
Like in clothing, And actually, I just interviewed a family. She just launched her business in candle making. And her business is legit, like got the license and everything, and it's e-commerce, so everything is sold online. But
Right.
she just launched her own business, and she's our age, she's 25, 26, and she's a CEO of her own business. And so it's like nowadays you see that's common now.
Yeah, I've seen that a lot too. I actually just met this girl. She's dating one of my best friend's brothers, and I like recently met her, and she just quit her like traditional like job to pursue her own like company, and she's like thriving. It's great.
Yeah, yeah. To be your own boss, it can be a hell of a job, but
Yeah.
it has its rewards. You can't, nobody can tell you how to do your work, because it's yours. It's your own.
Yeah.
So, well, with that said, I want to make a toast to Megan and Mariah. You two are super amazing. Thank you for joining me this afternoon. This was a great episode. This
Yeah, thanks
Yeah.
for having us. I feel
Yeah.
honored that you wanted us to be on your show, so thank you so
Yeah. Yeah, me too. You're such an amazing, beautiful soul, and I just love you so much, and you know that. And I'm
Thank
so
you.
glad we were able to do this. It was fun.
much.
Thank you. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. Hopefully, we can do stuff like this more often and
Yeah.
Yeah.
with this. So, thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. Toast to you two for being extraordinary.